Ilyasova. And Freak subbed in for Brandon Jennings. The Clippers also making some changes. Smith checked in for Pierce. Lance Stevenson comes in for Jamal Crawford. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for Paul. Setting the floor for the Clippers. Inside, it's Griffin and Jordan. Lance Stevenson is out there with J.J. Redick. And it's Smith in at the small forward. Here's Griffin, and 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. Marcus Morris picks one up there.
Really the right play defensively. If you can't block, force them to the line.
Yeah, exactly. Prevent the layup, give them a little bump, and then maybe they'll think twice about coming into the lane next time. And if they don't think about it, at least they might be distracted by your presence.
And the Pistons making a change here. Jackson's checked in. Fans had a hard time finding their way to the stadium last season for the Pistons at the bottom in several home attendance categories last year.
Yeah, that's right in Auburn Hills. Right? I mean, they used to go a lot when they were winning championships. But to be fair to those fans, it was hard at times to watch the Pistons play. I mean, they could get cold and really struggle on their home floor.
And Redick kicks to Stevenson. For 3, Smith. Leaps for it, kept alive. Redick with the bucket.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Well, it's not supposed to be easy down there, and a little artistry on the inside helped him make it happen.
Now here's Freak, covered by Redick. Shot clock at 5. And it's Freak missing. The Clippers trail. Smith kicks to Griffin. In the corner, Smith with it. No one near him. And stolen by Drummond. Jackson against Griffin. Here's Freak. It's hauled in by Smith.
That's terrific defense right there to prevent from converting in close.
He dishes it to Stevenson. Pass to Jordan. He nails it, and we're tied up. Jordan's got his second bucket tonight.
They are really doing a nice job establishing a presence inside early.
And watch, Clark, how the game plays out, because this is going to open things up on the perimeter. Not a quarter to remember as far as his offense is concerned.
Yeah, you know, he's not making any kind of impact for them at that end of the court right now.
Outside Jackson. Passes it to Freak. No good on the 3.
And he has slipped into a funk, Clark. You can see the confidence is shaken.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, he's very much deflated. The basket looks a lot smaller to him at this point, and the only way you can get out of it is to work yourself out of it.
He feeds it to Jackson. To the wing on the left. Here's Freak. And here's Freak on his experience as a one-and-done college player. Now with more and more freshmen, Clark, making fairly new group now out there. A big group substitution here for the Clippers. Jordan, he's checked in for Griffin. Smith comes in for Paul Pierce. Lance Stevenson's checked in for Wesley Johnson. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for Jamal Crawford. And the Clippers, looking at who they've got, Chris Paul and J.J. Redick are the guards. Smith is out there with Lance Stevenson, and it's Jordan in at the 5. Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Pacers gave them a bit of a boost. He had 9 points, and he also added a few assists as he set up his teammates as well. He really was the second unit for his team in a great performance, guys.
All right, Doris, thanks. That really was a spectacular game for him, even by his standards, guys.
And how about the high standards he has for himself? Really did have it all working for him in that game.
Anxious to see what's in his mind for an encore today. I mean, it'd be awfully difficult to top that last game. And Marcus Morris is nicknamed Mook. He has a twin brother, older by 7 minutes, named Markeith. Both brothers played at Kansas, drafted 13th and 14th in the same year, eventually played for the same pro team. That is joined at the hip.
Redick passes to Jordan. Stevenson inside the three-point line. Not gonna go as it bounces high off the rim. Pistons trail by 11. Here's Freak. And the layup falls. Freak's got 5 now. And looking at the Morris brothers' careers through last season, the one area they haven't been joined at the hip in is in performance. Markieff has shown steady improvement over his first 4 years. Marcus Morris has had a very up and down start to his career.
And you know, Kevin, Marcus has talent. He has versatility. He just hasn't found his role. It's time for him to step out of his brother's shadow and really establish who he is as a player.
And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line. And that sends Freak to the free throw line. It's going to be on DeAndre Jordan. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for Los Angeles.
We got a storyline here. If it goes on for the rest of the game, it could be all those points they're getting at the foul line.
And also knocking down the mid-range because they're making good decisions with the basketball.
And Jackson gets it to go.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Out of bounds, Detroit takes possession.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Pistons trail by 7.
A chance here to go 2 for 1.
Boy, they've got to ramp up the speed and make it happen in a hurry.
There's Freak. Pistons keep it alive. And Jordan sends it back. And that's out of bounds. Detroit will retain possession. One second separating the shot clock and game clock. And it's Freak missing. Clippers leading by 7. Here's Paul. That falls. Nice feed that time from Stevenson. 6 points for Chris Paul.
I tell you what, fellas, we're seeing some really good ball movement out there.
Definitely. 10 of their last 12 points have come off assists.
Here's Freak. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And we finished one.
Yes, Kevin, I'm here.
And now the third quarter about to get going. Big group substitution here for the Clippers. Smith checked in for Jordan. Johnson comes in for Paul Pierce. Lance Stevenson's checked in for Jamal Crawford. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for Paul. Freak in at point guard. Aaron Baines out there with Marcus Morris. Then there's Jackson, and it's Meeks in at the 3, the small forward. That's the group for Detroit right now. Over to the wing. Outside Jackson. Clock at 6. Here's Freak. Detroit, no good that time either.
It's almost like he's trying to make things hard on himself. You know, he's just got to slow the game down. Try to get some easy ones.
Redick dishes to Griffin. Rebound by the Pistons. They defeated Indiana in their last game.
Yeah, and the way they attacked the basket in that game was unreal. I mean, after a while, the defenders seemed to just wave the white flag.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, that's what will happen when a team continues to attack the basket and come away with layups. The defense tends to get demoralized and deflated.
And that one's good. Free.
You know what? Sometimes something good can come out of a bad possession.
The Clippers in the lead. That's tipped. Takes the 13-footer. Can't get it to go. And Detroit the other way now. Last time they came together was in Los Angeles, where they fell to the Clippers.
Yeah, they were just wrecked last time they faced this team, and a lot of it was their own undoing.
And you know, Greg, in that blowout loss that you were alluding to, it was the turnovers that really did them in. You can't give possessions away like that and expect to win.
Takes a shot at the elbow. Good. Griffin's got the game tied up here for the Clippers.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need one.
takes the 13-footer, and he overshot that one, missing. Stevenson drives in, and it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Jackson.
You better listen there.
With one on the clock, and that's the final possession with the nice defense right there. And not so fast. The officials are going to check that shot again and make sure they got it right before we go to the fourth.
And the replay center, Alan Secaucus, is delivering.
We welcome you back to what has been a good one here as we get into the fourth quarter. And the Pistons making a change here. Freaks checked in, and then for Los Angeles, Smith comes in for Jordan, and J.J. Redick is subbed in for Blake Griffin. Taking a look at Los Angeles, Redick and Crawford, the sharpshooters outside. Pierce is out there with Smith, and it's Paul in at the point.
Almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
Tries a three, and it's Freak missing. And the foul called on Freak. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line.
Well, some really terrific numbers for Crawford. He's got 10 points and 2 rejections.
And guys, he's been making play after play on both ends of the floor.
No let up in him, and that's mindset. That's not just physical tenacity, but that's a mental tenacity, too, that he brings to the court.
Here's Freak. Off target from three-point range.
And maybe, you know, he thinks he can shoot himself out of the cold spell, but I don't think that's the case. Maybe somebody want to tell him to ease up off the threes. Just too much of a deficit to overcome.
Just not enough clicks and ticks left on that clock in this one, Greg.
And Drummond kicks to Ilyasova. The dish to Freak from deep. The shot misses. So the Clippers with the win.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Kevin, much appreciated, and now let's present our Jamal Crawford. Tonight we saw all the reasons why he... And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show. For me and Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, have a...
The only color I care about is
Mr. Dom Pagnotti, Mr. Diamond and Platinum himself. It's a love-hate relationship.
What do you think about people who see your brother as just a meal ticket?
Well, that's why I'm there. I'm the gatekeeper. Yep. I can smell it from a mile away.
When you take time out for your own personal life, do you have a personal life?
I do.
Where at?
I
think Freak is your personal life.
You can think whatever you want, mister. But, I have a personal life. Thanks.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think that should end the interview right now. Yeah? It's great meeting you.
big game for me tonight. Carmelo Anthony is a player I watched playing for the Knicks when I was in high school, so I got nothing but love for him in his game. I can only hope to one day be the scorer that he is now. Time to do NYC proud. All up in the house, baby. Melo better be ready.
It's an all-Eastern Conference matchup in today's game as the Pistons come into town for this one. Well, the holidays always bring us some incredible NBA action. Kevin Serafin, he's checked in for Lopez. Williams comes in for Porzingis. And Langston Galloway subbed in for Aaron Aflalo. So Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. Ilyasova, he's checked in for Tolliver. Johnson comes in for Marcus Morris. Jackson, he's checked in for Meeks. And Freak subbed in for Brandon Jennings. On the floor for Detroit, Freak, he's in at point guard. Andre Drummond is out there with Ilyasova. Then there's Reggie Jackson. And it's Johnson in at the small forward position. Last season ended with the Knicks pretty much packing it in, but Clark, it didn't start out that way.
You know what? Not at all. I mean, the Knicks were picked by many, Kevin, to be a playoff team last season. Clearly, things did not go as planned.
Williams with a clean look. No good. That would have tied it.
Yeah, and listen, sometimes even the best of us are going to miss the easiest of opportunities.
Here's Freak. And the rebound goes to the Knicks. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with Boston.
Yeah, they just really struggled to put points on the board throughout that game. You could just see they were pressing. Just couldn't get anything to go on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and guys, and once they got spiraling downwards, there seemed to be no way to get out of it. All their offense went to pot.
The Knicks have been solid at the line so far, 4 for 4. Pistons leading by 5, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. On the floor for Detroit, Freak in at point guard. Marcus Morris is out there with Ilyasova. And there's Anthony Tolliver, and it's Jackson in at the 2-guard spot.
And guys, for the Pistons' bad road record, a lot of it was due to their poor start on the road. Only managed to win one of their first 9 games, and that tends to take the confidence away from a young team.
Here's Anthony, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. Marcus Morris picks one up there.
You know, the last thing I'll say about the Pistons on the road, typically you have to be close to 500 on the road in order to make the playoffs. The Pistons won 7 in a row at one point on the road, but by then they had fallen too far back. You know, for Carmelo last season, it was Murphy's Law. What could go wrong did go wrong. After signing Melo to a max deal, the Knicks management expected a bunch from him, but with the new offense and a bad knee, it didn't happen.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Celtics had a nice performance. He finished with 8 points, and he was able to dish out a few helpers to teammates as well. It was a great contribution from someone who is considered a bit more of a role player on his team.
All right, Doris. Well, guys, coming off a performance like that has got to have him supremely confident right now.
No doubt. I guarantee he comes into today's game feeling there isn't anything he can't do on the floor right now.
Tell you what, Greg, I think he might be right based on that last game. I'm inclined to agree with him.
And getting back to Carmelo last year, that team really became devoid of talent. In some games, Greg, in games that he played, he seemed like their only scoring option.
You know, we talk about needing a big 3 to compete for a championship.
New group in for the Knicks. Kevin Serafin, he's checked in for Lopez. Kyle O'Quinn comes in for Porzingis. Williams, he's checked in for Carmelo Anthony. And it's Calderon in for Langston Galloway. So Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. Drummond's checked in for Ilyasova. Johnson comes in for Marcus Morris. Jody Meeks, he's checked in for Reggie Jackson. And Freak subbed in for Brandon Jennings. Here's a Flalo.
Boy, I tell you what, the complexion of this game would be completely different if he'd shot the ball anything like he's capable of.
And that one's good. Freak's got 4 points this quarter. 59 seconds left in the second quarter. Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
There's the pick. A 3-ball. And a Flalo. Bucket on the assist by Calderon. And it's 6 points for Aaron Aflalo. Now here's Freak. He's guarded by Calderon. It's stolen by Calderon. There we go. Now in the scoring column with that make, he is 1 for 4.
How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. And he made it look easy that time.
So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. No good on the free throw.
What are we in?
He hits the second from the line. Here's Calderon. 11 points for him in that last game against Boston. Pass to Aflalo. No good, trying to beat the buzzer. And through the first half. Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here. So for the Knicks, Kevin Serafin, he's checked in for Lopez. Derek Williams comes in for Porzingis. And Langston Galloway subbed in for Aaron Aflalo. And a different look here for the Pistons. Ilyasova, he's checked in for Tolliver. Caldwell Pope comes in for Marcus Morris. Jackson, he's checked in for Meeks. And Freak subbed in for Brandon Jennings. Calderon and Galloway are the guard set. Derek Williams is out there with Anthony. And it's Serafin in at the 5 spot. That's the 5 for New York right now. One thing about Jose Calderon, you could see the frustration in him last season playing a career-low 42 games, and his averages were down pretty much, Greg, across the board.
Yeah, and Kevin, he was brought in to kind of invigorate the Knicks' point guard position, but following a preseason calf injury, you know, he missed the team's first 13 games and never was able to really get going. Remember, coming into a new system where he had to learn how to play differently, and then after all that, you know, you have to shut him down because of that left Achilles.
Here's Freak, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
And getting back to Jose Calderon, he's been an extremely efficient shooter for a point guard, 48% from the field throughout his career. But last season, he couldn't hit it at all. I mean, he dropped down to 41%.
Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Anthony.
And, you know, on the topic of Jose Calderon, his game is predicated on getting others involved. Last season, he had Carmelo Anthony to throw it to, and really pretty much no one else. So defenders could key on him a little more, causing him, I thought, to become just a little less efficient.
Galloway with the bucket.
Next round, 41.
Pistons leading by 16. And it's Freak missing.
Oh, my goodness. That's like temporary insanity right there.
Do you think he realizes we've actually got a game?
We're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter in this one. On the floor for Detroit, the big men, Tolliver and Drummond. Freak is out there with Jody Meeks, and it's Morris in at the 3 spot. And it's Freak missing.
Good little 2-man action there, but they just can't get the shot to fall.
Yeah, but that was a beauty. Good-looking shot, well-executed play. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go back to it.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
Clearly a foul. I mean, didn't give them any choice but to blow the whistle. I mean, you got to play without fouling.
Listen, the Knicks finishing at the bottom of the East last season. They didn't go into the season thinking they were in for a rough go, making last season all that more painstaking for the fans.
Aaron Aflalo, he's checked in for New York. Calderon comes in for Kevin Seraphin.
Can't get anything to drop. I mean, the way he's going, it's probably not something he should try and shoot his way out of.
Well, they say you should shoot your way out of it, but his teammates probably have other thoughts in mind. The last thing they want to see him doing is continuing to cast that jumper up.
And the Pistons with possession here. Pistons leading by 10. And for the Knicks and their play against the rest of the conference, guys who've been talking about only Clark 11 wins in 52 games.
And you know, Kevin, what's worse is the Knicks were 5-21 at home against the East. No matter how you slice that up, the Knicks had a season that everybody would like to forget in New York.
And the foul called on Freak. That will get him his 4th foul of the game. Lopez with the ball. To the paint, picked by Williams. Amundsen can't hit.
He's always going to have a difficult time finishing when the defense is in his face like that.
From 18 feet away. And that one hits back iron. Knicks trail by 12. And the foul called on Freak. That's his 5th foul.
And now only one away from being in the penalty.
Yep, the next one puts them on the line, so they've got to be careful the rest of the way.
Zinkas, he's checked in for Derek Williams.
Well, they've only got a slight edge in rebounding when you look at the numbers, but it certainly feels a lot bigger than it is.
Yeah, the score has a lot to do with that. Their overall effort and execution has been elite.
Calderon kicks to Aflalo. 13 feet away. The shot misses. And it's Detroit the other way. And here we go with Morris running it up the court. Out to the right wing. And a wide open look for Freak. Again, the miss by the Pistons.
Oh, boy, I tell you what, they don't get much uglier than the quarter he's having.
Yeah, and it's not showing any signs, Greg, of turning around.
And so the Pistons take the win.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, Ernie Johnson along with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Let's quickly move forward now to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Brandon Jennings. He stepped up his game tonight, getting it done all game long and making the plays whenever they... And folks, that'll wrap it up for tonight. We hope you enjoyed the game. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. Have a good evening.
I told you, Dom Pagnotti always delivers. Brand Jordan.
Been a long road trip. Last game is tonight, and I know I want to get out of here with the win. We'll be back in front of the home crowd soon. But now's not the time to be looking ahead. I need to step up my game and help this team get it done. No excuses.
A beautiful panning view over Salt Lake City, Utah, the capital city of Utah, shining under the night sky. 2K Sports presents the NBA Monday Night Basketball. Up going with the new group. Utah leading by 3. And Detroit looking at who they've got. Freak in at point guard. Marcus Morris is out there with Caldwell Pope. Then it's Aaron Baines. And it's Jackson in at the 2 spot.
And, you know, guys, Dante Exum is such a fluid, versatile athlete. Really shows great promise. Has tremendous size and length for a point guard. Can also play the 2. His rookie season last year, though, a mixed bag.
Shot clock at 6. Here's Freak. He nails it, and we're tied up.
Man, that is not an easy shot right there. I mean, he had to get it off over a much taller defender.
Yeah, he needed to add just a little more loft on that one because of the size mismatch, and he did it perfectly.
And the shot is good. For Dante Exum, Greg, last season he didn't shoot the ball that well, and his turnover rate was what you might expect from a rookie, but his defense was good. In fact, borderline excellent at times.
That's a great point, Kevin. And you know what I like about Exum, when his shot wasn't falling, you know, he didn't allow it to affect the other facets of his game. He would find ways to contribute, and that's the kind of attitude that so many scouts got excited about when they were talking about this guy in the first place. And Detroit with a 32-50 record last season, they didn't have any help from the schedule. They had a total of 22 back-to-back series on the year, tied for most in the league.
And he's good on the second. Greg, as you just said, the Pistons had a ton of back-to-back games. 44 were part of their back-to-backs, over half their schedule. Clark, they went 15-29 in those games.
And that's part of the reason why the NBA wanted to examine the schedule. I mean, it was a tough year for the Pistons. It's hard to get any momentum when you're playing that many back-to-backs.
He's looking confident right from the opening tip.
Here's Freak. Again, the miss by the Pistons.
And he's clearly just disappeared here this quarter, not making any contributions here with his offense.
And, Greg, it's been hard to watch. I mean, you can see his frustration. He's actually looking forward to the end of this period so he can have a fresh start for the next one. And for Dante Exum, the first point guard chosen in the 2014 draft, number 5 overall, actually, he was taken over 2 other very talented and arguably more proven point guards coming in, those being Marcus Smart and Elfrid Payton.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And talking about Dante Exum last year, he showed scouts were right when they said he isn't a finished product. He only shot 35% from the field, put up much smaller numbers than other top rookie point guards like, Smart and Payton.
But looking 3 or 4 years out, you may be singing a different tune. And, Kevin, I think that's what the projections are when you look at this young man. He has length. There's a smoothness and a feel for the game that's raw, but still elite. That's why many scouts would still today take him over any other point guard in that draft. And, guys, as many rookies do, Rodney Hood hit some major bumps in the road last season. I mean, he came in with a reputation of having an NBA-ready jumper, yet only hit 41% of his shots. He had that foot injury that kept him out for a string of games. However, it really all came together for him in April, the last month of the season.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock.
Yeah, they got that one, but early on, it's really been a struggle for them to secure that defensive backboard.
And because it's still early, I wouldn't read too much into it. There's still a lot of game left.
A nice shot by Booker.
It's taken them no time to build this lead up. Great first quarter offensively.
But no time to relax here. They've got to keep the pressure on with the defense, and I think they've got to try to put this one away early.
Transitioning from college to the pros can be a challenge for many players. Here's what Freak had to say. Good points, Clark, but a different look for Utah. Trevor Booker comes in for Gobert, and it's Exum in for Burke. And a different look here for the Pistons. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Andre Drummond. Marcus Morris comes in for Ilyasova. Reggie Jackson's checked in for Meeks, and Freak subbed in for Brandon Jennings. And Detroit, looking at who they've got. Freak, he's in at the point. Aaron Baines out there with Marcus Morris. Then there's Jackson, and it's Johnson in at small forward. From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Nuggets was a major factor. He picked up 10 points, and along with what he did on the offensive end, he also played some stellar defense as well. He really was the second unit for his team in a great performance, guys.
And Doris, thank you so much. He couldn't have been much better in that game, could he, GA?
Not at all. He was great. I mean, that's for sure. If he wasn't at his best, he was awfully close.
Guys, he came to compete and win. Let's hope he's got that same attitude, that same energy, that same swag here tonight.
And the big lead becomes bigger. They are playing with purpose here tonight, guys.
And they're doing it at both ends of the floor. I mean, that's what you like to see. They've been controlling the action from both ends of the court.
Morris, a screen. Again, the miss by the Pistons.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And it's been a well-rounded performance. I mean, strong rebounding has certainly been at the center of it, but it's been good on a number of levels.
Exum with a wide-open look. Buries it from three-point range. Exum's got 10 points in the game.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
From beyond the arc. And again, it's the Pistons missing.
You could see it in his eyes. It became mano-mano. He wanted to return the favor with that three, but just didn't get it to go. If you battle for the offensive rebound and come up with it, you're guaranteed a high-quality shot on a follow just like he got there.
The 17-footer. Here's Booker. Nice open look, but it's no good.
Nobody even close to him, and he can't believe he doesn't knock it down.
Freak. Offensive rebound. Here's Morris. And he banks in the layup. Morris has got his first basket.
Just not enough bodies on the glass right there, and they paid for it.
Well, Greg, I know you're a little guy, but you know what it means to box out, and it's an effort thing and a mindset deal. You got to get your body between that other player and the ball.
Drummond's checked in for the Pistons.
Andre Drummond. Detroit calls timeout. All right,
and a chance here to go to our rookie leaderboard and give a nod to the best long-range bombers of the past month. Fifth on the list, Freak.
You know, coming into the NBA, you knew he could stroke it from long range, and over the past month, he's shown us exactly that.
Just a high level of efficiency. That's the key. I mean, quality of shots he takes, but also his fundamentals. Anyone can host a launch party. This guy is consistent ATM.
Not enough on that one as it misses.
It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady with their work on the interior. Really a well-rounded effort overall.
For Detroit, they have shot 70% from the free throw line tonight, 7 for 10.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far.
And through one half, it hasn't even been close.
Yes, guys, I'm here with Dick.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far. So for the Pistons, Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Marcus Morris, and Freak subbed in for Brandon Jennings.
Andre Drummond is a big guy. At the NBA Draft Combine, he measures 7 feet tall with a 7'7" wingspan, and he tipped the scales at 280 pounds. That's a super heavyweight, my friend.
The forwards are Hayward and Favors. Pairing up in the backcourt, Trey Burke and Alec Burks. And it's Gobert in at the center position. That's the group right now for Utah.
And they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
And the foul called on Freak. That's his 3rd foul of the game. And on the topic of Andre Drummond, Greg, there are a few guys in the league who combine his kind of size with the type of athleticism he possesses. Fast up and down the floor, quick off his feet, even sports a little hang time. I mean, the guy's got a full package athletically.
You talked about the raw physical tools. Then you factor in the 2 things as a big that I really value: great hands and quick feet. And he's got that going for him. So you can't go through him, you can't go around him, and you certainly can't go over him. I mean, what's left?
We can only hope to contain him, as they say. The 3. And it's Freak with the rebound. So for the Jazz, their last game, a win against the Washington Wizards.
Well, that was a very physical game, and I think that plays into their hands. So a lot of their points came at the foul line.
And it also led to a lot of foul trouble for some of the key guys they were up against. So we can't forget about that part of it either.
And that one's good by Favors.
Oh, terrific way to finish that move there, going to the basket.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
They set the pick. Johnson outside. Freak passes to Johnson. 6 on the shot clock. Detroit needs to get off a shot. Again, the miss by the Pistons.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big